yeah, I suppose I'll just talk a little bit about the book first. So today is the launch day of How to Make Curry Goat. So just want to say thanks to Isabel and Fly the Wall Press for working with me on this and making this happen. It's really amazing, and it's got the best cover ever. So me. So anyone who knows me knows that. But yeah, this has been a labour of love. Poems that I've written over the last few years, and it explores. So I suppose it has common themes running through it: identity, family, culture, and my love life, which from the sounds of half the poems in here is disastrous. Not so much at the moment though, but you know what it's like. So I will start with a poem that I wrote reflecting on my trip to Jamaica. So I visited Jamaica for the first time when I was in my 30s. So that was, we'd never been, my dad hadn't been back since he came over at the age of 15, so it was a really special trip. And it was just, you'll see. This poem is called Tanned Feet. This tan from Jamaica never washed off. It sticks on skin still salty from floating in warm waters that hugged each part of its body that found its way there. The smell of citrus fruit, fried plantain and smoked wood still fresh in nostrils that have been cleared of soot and grey air for the first time. With every breath, I smell lime. This tongue tastes the tang, tantalising. It salivates as it rises to the call. Hot sauce, sweet sauce, and asks for both. I hope that life is not too hard here. Words form through lips that have welcomed guava picked with my father's hand. Straight from the tree they were both, and they speak of a different me. This tan has not faded from feet that discovered ground that saw a 12-year-old boy run from a grandfather who only spoke the language of pain. His grandmother's strength was grown from salt earth, enough to water a boy for more years than a mother and father combined, who waved that boy away with a salt-coloured flag. These tanned feet have grown golden next to the ghost of a mango tree where children would meet. Bodies speak the language of freedom, run to catch shrimp in a river that only runs now in black and white memories. But my feet see them in colour, in the soft brown warmth of a tan, nourished with coconut jelly so it does not fade, that will be topped up again one day. Thank you. So that poem, I just forgot to explain this, but like when they were sent away, often the children were sent away alone, and their parents were already in England. So my dad lived with his grandma. And when he got on the plane, they actually signal the people. So my dad's grandma, or my dad's grandma. Sorry, I get confused because I don't know that side of my family that well. My dad's grandma, they would have a specific colour of flag so that they could see them when the plane took off. So I thought that was really sweet, and my dad never saw her again, so it's quite sad. So yeah, that was a bit badly explained, but it's really interesting when you learn things like that, and I only learned that when I got there. This next poem is called My Body Is Yours, Please Take It. And it's a conversation with itself. So every other line I'm going to click just to make it obvious that the bits where I'm clicking are bits where it's things that people have said to me. So my body is yours, please take it. My body is composed of words. You are beautiful. My limbs are pulled on strings. You have such lovely hair. I am wrapped up in silk spun from well-meaning mouths. Hunting. Strong hands crafted my soft bones out of hard rib, and they knew they were naked. My eyes create shapes I want to see. You shouldn't have cut your hair. Empty spaces are filled with the heaviness of expectation. You have a moustache. I stick a needle through my lips. Slut. I camouflage myself in grey asphalt. Smile, it isn't that bad. And flowers. Suck my dick. My body is written between the lines of chapters and verses. Life begins at conception. Signed under smiles and camera flashes. Heartbeat bill. A luxury to be taxed. She gave me of the tree and I did eat. My steps are hallowed. You think you're too nice. My insides become uncertainty. Side effects include depression, breast cancer, cervical cancer, weight gain, acne. I am made of thunderstorms. Is that time of the month? I crash. I deafen my ears. Don't you want babies? Rain falls from my eyes to my womb. Borderline abnormalities. My womb, a parasite, feeds off my insides. Having an IUD fitted can be uncomfortable. Silk spun sharper than daggers. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb. I am the mother of living. Thank you. The next poem was written. It's a lot of the poems in here are food related. If you can, I can't tell from the cover, from the title, How to Make Curry Goat. This one's called A Daughter's Guide to Poaching an Egg. I was just thinking about the things that we're taught as women, but also my mum did teach me how to poach an egg, but this is not necessarily aimed at my mum in terms of the things that we learn as women or are told as women. A Daughter's Guide to Poaching an Egg. Make the water rearrange its insides. Shift shape as it is told. Steam, rise, drip, drip, vinegar. Sour the water to not let things stick. Watch it fight its way to the surface. It is not an easy process, such transformation. If not careful, it can erupt, break onto skin that has already learned this is too hot, but does it again anyway. Turn the heat down. Don't hold the egg too high or it will spread itself open, reveal itself. Something should be left to the imagination. Wand a whirlpool and crack it in, watch it bring itself together, composed, despite itself. Let the bubbles teach it how to mature. Push it to the surface, fully fledged, yolk whole, unbroken, ready for charred bread. In one move, let the knife cut it open. Watch it pour itself out, ready for hungry tongues. Thank you. Right, what should I do? Right, this poem is, I'll do this one actually. It's called Solo Female Traveller. It just covers the sort of internal struggle that I always feel within myself, which will become apparent as I read. Solo Female Traveller. The curve of the blue doorway is a wide open mouth, an invitation. My reflection in the window becomes part of the shadows that highlight the story of a life. Blades of light frame a bike, its basket asking to be filled. One day, I will call a place home, hold a key that I have 2 copies of. Lock the door behind me, turn the heating on, leave my shoes beside the door as dust glitter falls like getting undressed after a night out. Dappled sunlight pushes itself through crimson curtains, demands them to be opened. I inhale home, imbibe, let it enter my sinuses, syllables home heavy, central heating warm. I will not fear a rainy day. My feet warmed in worn, extra thick, one striped, one knot sock stay. Water plants, let the light in. Drink the ancient energy, let roots grow so long, so deep they need a bigger pot. We share oxygen as I dream that I am a girl with a Canon DSLR, trying to find the right light for her shot on emptied old town streets before moving on to get the bus to the next city. Thank you. The next poem is a poem I wrote. It's called Social Mobility, and it was, I don't know, when I found going into the working world, I always found like I'd be lost for words, or I wouldn't feel like comfortable in speaking out because I just didn't feel like I belonged there a little bit. I guess it's like imposter syndrome. So this is kind of dealing with that. Social mobility. Words fly out of my mouth like little Diane Abbott's. Each one a photo from a Telegraph article about her hair over the years. Wearing an afro, making an appointment at the hairdresser's. The caption reads so loud I can only say it on repeat. Wearing an afro, making an appointment at the hairdresser's. Wearing an afro, making an appointment at the hairdresser's. My words sound like torrential rain on the motorway, which means I need to leave an extra 3 seconds between me and the person in front of me, I think. Like Diane, I am not good with numbers, but my mistake feels more dangerous than hers. I speak my words smaller, like 2 point or 3 point, trying to stop them from defaulting to Comic Sans, but my attempts turn it into wingdings, which I think is worse, but could be perceived as artistic, which seems like a good idea sometimes. I change it to Times New Roman, add italics for emphasis, but every time I finish, it reverts back. I wash my mouth out with soap and water like my mum always threatened but never did. We would always get to the sink and she would make me rinse my mouth out with my 12 times tables, which is arguably worse. The soap I use is 100% from Lush, which means I'm allowed to use it, and I cannot be responsible for charred orangutans for once, and at least now my words smell nice and not skull super, instead a mixture of orange blossom, lavender and cacao. I add this to my morning routine, in between incidental brushing and scrubbing my skin clean. Thank you. The next poem is a short one. It's called Adult Braces. I'm getting them removed in 2 weeks. I'm so excited. Adult Braces. Move the bones in your face. Good girl. Pull, push, conform, contort, fit the space. Thought there was nowhere to go. It hurts, so it's working. Worth it in the end. Deform and fit into holes. Swipe right. Smile. Thank you. I'm still deciding whether to do my mommy belly poem. I always do it. I did a poetry slam the other week, and yeah, I've just done it a lot, so I don't want to do it today. But it's one of my favourites, so I think I might do it at the end. This next poem is called My Sister Was Born a Sunset. There's a story behind this. Basically, when we were allowed to go to for coffee, Mum was telling me the story of when she gave birth to my sister and how they thought my sister had jaundice because she wasn't white and my dad wasn't there. I don't know why, but he wasn't there. So, and my sister's like 10 years older than me, so I like to imagine that it's because it was a different time then and that wouldn't have happened when I was born, but you never know. So the people, the nurses and everything rushed around trying to do and shone her under a light to check because they thought she had jaundice. So that, I mean, I think that must have been really traumatic for my mom, but yeah, it made me write a poem. It's called My Sister Was Born a Sunset. When children come out healthy, they are pink. Or the bit when pink meets red, so like that point in the sky when the sun reminds of its power to make us forget everything that came before it, even if only a minute. This blood-spilled sky and ending. Children are not yellow like a fully baked sun. They said she must have jaundice. My mother tells them her father's skin holds the burnt ochres of the Caribbean sunset. They do not say sorry when they hand her over. Thank you. Let's do another short one. It's called Move On. It's really short. Move on. Ghosts don't exist, except in the lump in the throat, the place between the end and a new beginning. Thank you. That was really short. So a lot of the poems in here, or some of them, are reflecting on relationships and the end of relationships and what that means. This next one, Cleansing Ritual. Basically, I had a breakup last year, and one of the things that people said to me was, oh, you need to sleep with someone else to like get over the other, otherwise it's not over yet. And I just thought it was quite a strange thing. So I think so. This is what this is about. Cleansing Ritual. Take the pink plastic razor from Poundland. Scrape. You know how they like it, Barbie smooth. Reach right under. Don't forget the back. You never know which angle he will see you from. Whilst you're at it, best do your whole body until you are like chicken skin, plucked, based yourself in shimmer, ready to sizzle. He won't notice how you catch under the razor, slicing yourself thinner every time. Wear a skirt that sucks you in like you are hourglass sand, each fallen grain a cracked egg. Spray. Walk under a mist of roses and citrus fruit. Practice your walk so he can see how you are, girl, yet mature, but not too mature. Forehead shiny like school days. They say you don't look your age, like it's a compliment. Lay yourself down for him. Let him squeeze. He is juicing you. Wear the red marks like a prize. He has not learned that to extract juice, you must tease it out. He only knows how to bruise. He picks apples with his teeth. Let him. Try to take him all in. Drink from each other. Taste stale, roll up smoke and warm beer. Hold it until it erases your words. Push his arm away and wait for the sun to shine light on the dirtied curtains. Let it dress your excuses. Open them. Warm his breath on your skin. No need for a shower. Thank you. So I've got time, I think, for one more. So I'm actually not going to do the Mommy Belly one. I'm going to do, but if you do want to hear more, and that Mommy Belly one is on my social media channels as well. So it's Louise MC Poetry on Facebook and Hyperbolu on Instagram. So that's HYPRBOLOU. But this one, I thought, this was one, so it was written in response to a haircut that I had before lockdown, my last haircut. I went to a hairdresser's in Shoreditch in London, and they told me that they could do mixed race hair. It was like a last minute appointment. They told me they could do mixed race hair, so I went in there. You know, I checked beforehand because you have to when you have hair like mine. And they said yeah, but then when I went there, the woman she couldn't do my hair, but she was like, it was like she was blaming me for that. She was like, oh, we don't have the right hair products for your hair, and we don't have a comb that can comb your hair even, and what do I do with it? Like, what do I do with it? She kept asking me, and I was like, really? Like, really? Anyway, I just felt really shocked. I didn't know what to do, and then I felt like there were other people in the place were just looking at me. I just felt really like othered, I guess, and I just felt like I was getting this treatment, and I felt like, is it because I felt like they were blaming my hair for my treatment? So I wrote a poem. There's actually a really good hairdresser's right near there called 330, and I normally go there, but basically I booked the wrong day, and I don't live in London anymore, so yeah, anyway. Gaudi would not have agreed. Oh yeah, and so it made me think of Gaudi and all those buildings in Barcelona, so that's what the title alludes to. To each strand she whispers, stretch yourself like straw, uncurve, undo, blend into the empty space they saved you. They told her it was hers. If only she could unbend, make a line of it. They only make space for straight lines, their shelves too full for curl cream, you are too hot, and there is not enough for you to drink, you want to keep drinking. There isn't enough space for everyone, and her curls take up double. So they pull and they push, use their fingers to touch, make her disappear between the lines. We don't have combs with smiles wide open enough to convince your curls into staying, sorry. Each strand brushed becomes brittle, broken into shards she sheds exposed. Isn't that better? Then she remembers Gaudi. Curves undulating. Pieces of broken rainbow toast the naked Catalonian sun. Surrounded by buildings standing straight in line, trying to bend themselves away from the earth against their better judgment, doing what they are told over and over again. Until they do not remember, they are held together with cement. The Casa Bastillo turns the horizon part, kaleidoscope. Bent balconies unfurl against transparent sky to remind her. She is the crest of the ocean, just before it breaks the deepening curve of a tree's roots, nature's anchor, a freshly fallen leaf, the fullness of pregnancy, the moon eclipsing the sun, and so she tells them of Gaudi, that there are no straight lines in nature. Thank you. And I realised that explanation took longer than it should have, but I felt like it needed an explanation, so sorry. But thank you so much for being here with me. And the book is available to purchase with Blind and Walk Press. Also, if you follow me on Instagram, I'll have a link up there soon with a big cartel that you can order it from to get a signed copy. But yeah, thank you so much for being here on a Friday night. I hope everyone has a great weekend and see you all soon.